Former New Mexico Governor Gary Johnson is the Libertarian candidate for president.
Yes.
The man with a party.
Well, and so you could say I would that I am the spokesperson for the Libertarian Party as the nominee. It's kind of exciting. One of 3 candidates on the ballot in all 50 states.
That gives you an extremely unique opportunity.
It's an extremely unique opportunity, Matt.
What's the goal?
Well, first of all, the goal is to win, and I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't think that I could make a really big difference. But here's how the winning scenario goes. Here's how that could happen. I need to poll at 15% against Obama and Romney and be in the national debates. And if I am, given the fact that 80% of Americans right now are saying they would consider voting for a third-party candidate, I think I would have a good shot. Now, the differences between me and Obama and Romney, I'm the only candidate that's going to declare peace when I take the office of presidency. I'm the only candidate that wants to get out of Afghanistan, bring the troops home. I'm the only candidate that wants to slash spending. I'm the only candidate advocating a balanced budget now. I'm the only candidate saying, let's end the war on drugs. I'm the only candidate that's really professing marriage equality, and that it is from a federal level, given that it is a constitutionally guaranteed right, on par with civil rights in the 60s.
Let's go back to the first thing in your list, declare peace. What does that look like from a policy perspective?
Well, that we extricate ourselves from all the conflicts that we're currently involved in, and that we stop involving our military in conflicts. Now, we need to defend ourselves from attack, and that's one of the president's primary responsibilities, but we've gone way over the line. I think the biggest threat to our national security is the fact that we're borrowing and printing money to the tune of 43 cents out of every dollar that we're spending, and we're building roads, schools, bridges, highways, and hospitals in other countries, and we're occupying other countries militarily. I think that we should stop that.
You had said before we started talking that our default seems to be we should probably be there. Do you think that's just Afghanistan, or is that with respect to Libya, with respect to some of the other things that are going on?
Well, I'm the only candidate of the 3, Obama, Romney, and myself, that's advocating let's not bomb Iran. Look, Iran is an unintended consequence of Iraq. We take out Iraq, now all of a sudden Iran is raising its head. Their only concern was Saddam Hussein and Iraq, and what were they going to do to us today? We take them out? Well, now we're dealing with this. I don't think there's a military threat coming from Iran. We need to be vigilant to that military threat, but they're not just going to roll out a nuclear weapons program tomorrow and have it operational. This is something that we can be involved in diplomatically, but not bombing Iran. If we bomb Iran, we're going to find ourselves in a 2-year bombing maintenance program of Iran, and we're going to make another 100 million enemies in this world that we wouldn't have otherwise had.
Say we don't do that and Israel does, and then all of a sudden there's the perception that, well, yeah, the U.S. didn't bomb Iran, they just told Israel to go do it, or they didn't step in the way.
Well, so as President of the United States, I would do everything in my power to tell Israel to not engage in this. Now, military threat is one thing, and ascertaining that and defending oneself against threat, that's what the military should be for. But today, bombing Iran today, I'm just going to argue that this is not a wise move at all, and that we should stop using our military in conflicts. And back to strict governance under the Constitution of the United States, whenever we involve our military anywhere, that needs to be with an okay from Congress.
Unlike what's currently
happening. Unlike current administrative decisions to go in and into Libya and other forays.
The Tea Party in this election is certainly going to be a force. It's something that the Republicans have actively courted. It would seem like the Tea Party should be a libertarian kind of a thing, at least in some ways. Is there anything that you've done to try to court that vote or to try to connect with those people?
Well, no, here's what I'm trying to court. I'm trying to court the best from the Democrats and the best from the Republicans. The notion that Democrats are really good on civil liberties, well, you know what? I think I outflank Obama on the left when it comes to being better on civil liberties. And then dollars and cents when it comes to Republicans. Republicans historically, they've been good on dollars and cents. I think I outflank Romney when it comes to dollars and cents. I think Obama is abysmal when it comes to dollars and cents. I think Romney is abysmal when it comes to civil liberties. And don't we want the best of both worlds? I think the majority of people in this country are fiscally responsible and socially tolerant, and I know that I fall in that category. So how does that relate to a political party? I think that's the Libertarian Party.
Would you classify that as a third way or as a middle way?
Definitely a third way. No, I mean, what we have from the Republicans is we have a stifling of civil liberties, you know, the passing of the Patriot Act, no marriage equality, drug wars. These are civil liberties that things are getting worse in this country, not better. And then on the Democrat side, the spending is abysmal. We cannot sustain borrowing and printing money to the tune of 43 cents out of every dollar. The reason for balancing the federal budget now is, if we don't do it, we're going to find ourselves with a government that has collapsed. We're going to find ourselves in the midst of a monetary collapse. And a monetary collapse is where all the dollars that we have don't buy a thing. And it happens. And we're not immune from the mathematics. So much talk about Greece. We're 6 years away from Greece being at 160% of debt to gross national product. 6 years away.
Does that mean that we need a constitutional amendment for a balanced budget? Or is that just 8 years of Gary Johnson saying we need balanced budgets?
Well, I'm promising to submit a balanced budget to Congress in the year 2013. I'm promising to veto any legislation where expenses exceed revenue. Matt, I'm going to suggest to you that Congress will have to override my veto. They will, but I'm going to suggest to you that if I'm elected President of the United States, who's got the wind at their back? What are people shouting at Congress? We want the budget balanced. I'm going to suggest to you that spending will be lower in that scenario that I just pointed out than any other scenario you could possibly come up with.
Is there a libertarian position on the environment, or is it piece by piece?
Well, no. Libertarians, government should protect us against individuals, groups, corporations, foreign countries that are going to do us harm. That's the fundamental, the only responsibility really that government has. So in the context of protecting us against individuals, groups, corporations that would pollute the environment, who's around to defend you and I from that happening? I think probably the government has a role, and that is a fundamental role of government.
Governor Gary Johnson, thanks.
Matt, thank you very much.
Appreciate it.